Go. I'm so excited for this. We are on. Hey guys, how you going? So today on BKR Sport, well, we are finally here for some Fiji rugby. I got my Fiji shirt on right now. Toso Viti, Bulavanaka, and Vadava to everyone over here in Fiji right now. I'm in Nandi, and we're going to be watching on as Georgia play Fiji. Now, this is going to be a very interesting game. Fiji should win. They've got the team for it, but they also haven't played in over a year and a half. And also, in saying that as well, they've been absolutely raucous by controversy in the last 3 weeks, obviously, with the team coming down with the pandemic. So they've had no preparation for this game. They've had nothing, but it should be an exciting game nonetheless. We all know that Fiji rugby is always exciting. It's exuberant. It's fun. It's passionate. And I'm looking forward to seeing, Penny Ravai. I'm looking forward to seeing a bit of Johnny Dyer. I love when he was playing for the Fijian Drua. Obviously got Semi Radraja, Kunavula. Kunavula action. Gee whiz, tell you what, going to be a good damn well game here. Benny Volavola playing as well. Frankie Lamani, my boy Frankie Lamani is playing as well. I actually didn't even know he was over there. Funny enough, but good to see him over there, and I'm ready to see them have a solid crack here. Let me know in the chat, guys, who you are getting around. Obviously, me, Toso Viti, proud Fiji. So let me know who you are going for, what you think the correct score is going to be as well. Now, in regards to this game, guys, you've got to remember that Fiji haven't had any preparation for this. The last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks has all been with the team having, a pandemic effect where no one's been able to train, no one's been able to play with each other, no one's been able to tackle each other. So they're going to be on a real lack of preparation here. Now, Fiji rugby isn't really necessary, like the way that they play isn't really a necessity in regards to preparation. It's a very, loosey-goosey style. We throw the ball around, we get the ball out through the offloads, we just kind of mix it up, and it's very openness about it. And, that's not exactly a thing you need to teach. Fiji rugby isn't what you need to teach. It's just how we play here on the islands. It's just the way that they let the ball go, and just very expansive. Now, Georgia, on the other hand, they're very technical. They're very structured. They're very, stagnant is what I'd say. But I'd also like to see them come up and have a good performance like they did last week. They had a pretty decent performance against Ireland. They only lost 23-10. They scored their first points of the tournament. The game has started, by the way, guys. Oh, knock on, Georgia. Knock on. Come on, baby. Toss of Viti, baby. Yes, knock on. Geo07 says, "Come on, Georgia. Hey, you getting around Georgia? Good to see you. I hope you have a good game. Obviously, I'm getting around Fiji, but good. There's a Georgian here. They love their rugby in Georgia. They do. But yeah, like I said, Georgia had a good game last week against the Irish. They only lost 23-10. They scored 10 points in that game. They hadn't scored any points against England. They lost 40-0 in that one, and they lost 18-0 to Wales as well, which was the week before the Irish game. That was 18-0. So. They're not exactly the greatest rugby team, Georgia, but, they still have the ability to shock. I think when Fiji played Georgia last year in the World Cup, Fiji won pretty significantly, and it was a really good performance from my boy Frankie Lamani and Sami Radradra. Leo says, "This game is literally complete polar opposite in terms of style." Exactly right, mate. Exactly right. Georgia are stagnant. They're straight through the middle. They're just, boom, 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 right India. Fiji are just, openness. And here we go. We're about to see it right now. 10 metres out here. Come on. Oh, what a pass. What a pass out to the wing. What a pass out to the wing. What a pass out to the wing. Go, you good thing. Go, you good thing. Try time, baby. Toss of Viti, baby. Try time, baby. A minute into the game, Toss of Viti, baby. That's what we're talking about. A minute into the first rugby game here, and Fiji is going to score. Wow, we 5-0 here, Fiji. Come on, baby. That's what I'm talking about. As the sport says, "High Blades go Fiji, Toso Viti Toso." As the sport says, Fiji 25-8. I honestly think that Fiji could win this game. I could see us winning 40-10. 40-10. I still think Georgia have the ability to score, but that pass wasn't meant to go to the wing, by the way, but it does go to the wing, and we do score. Beautiful stuff. Love to see it. I can smell this is 15-0. Well, right now, this is the thing, guys, as well, you got to realise is that I genuinely believe Fiji are going to play extraordinary here in the sense that, obviously, we haven't played in over a year's time. You know what I mean? We haven't played in a long time, and Fiji love their rugby. There's no sevens right now. There's no ability for the people in this country to really get excited and really get happy about what's going on right now, and I guess that this is going to be a game where they're going to... I don't know, explode in the sense that they're going to make people here proud because there is no sevens right now. This is a rugby country, and unfortunately, they haven't had any rugby in over a year. So, Benny Volavola here going from the kick from the sideline. So this game means a lot more to Fiji than it does Georgia, especially considering Fiji lost all 3 games 28-0 due to being not able to play the game. Volavola will miss the kick, unfortunately. So it'll be 5-0. Was from the sideline, but Fiji lost all games 28-0. They lost the first game 28-0 to Italy. Second was to last week was France, and the other one was to Italy, Scotland, and France. Was the 3 games they had to withdraw and lose 28-0 in. On the way, it says, what's the time on your game so I can sync up? 3 minutes into the game, mate. 3 minutes and 10, 3-6, 3-7, 3-8, 3-9, 3-10. There you go. Perfect. I can smell you says semi-hat trick. Love to see it. Bit of semi-rad-radger action. He's the captain for today's game. Now, I find that quite interesting. Georgia have the ball here. They're inside their own half right now. I find it quite interesting that semi-rad-radger is your captain. Usually, you have your forwards to captain, or you have a half. But today they've decided to go with a bit of an outside back, which obviously semi-rad-radger is one of the better players in the team, if not the best player in the team. But in the same sense, it's quite an interesting decision. I was talking to a few people today about it here in Fiji, and everyone was quite perplexed. But in the same sense, he is probably the best player, regarded. Well, knock on from Fiji. Disagree. I disagree. How is that not a knock on against Georgia? Well, hold on. Georgia had the ball. They lost the forward, and then Fiji knocked on from that knock on. What are you talking about? Okay, so there's an injury here in the back play, but I'm pretty certain that was a knock on Georgia. Anyway, doesn't really matter. Does Fiji have a new coach? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. No, I know who you're talking about. I know you said Gareth Baber there. Who is the Fiji 15? So he's still the coach from the last year's World Cup. But is it John McKee? John McKee, or is it Vern Cotter? Oh, John McKee and Vern Cotter. They're the coaches right now. There's 2 coaches. I know John McKee. I know John from last year. It's very difficult to be a coach for Fiji. It's very difficult to be a coach for this team because they're very expansive. They love to pass the ball. They're not structured at all. They don't want to listen to what you have to say. They play the way they do. They play. It's always going to be the same. It's going to be always unstructured. It's always going to be expansive. It's always going to be just passing the ball left, right, and centre. You can't really coach this team. It's not really possible, mate. It's not really possible. But that's why it's so frustrating to see so many coaches kind of get blamed for the performances from time to time. The Uruguay game, that is definitely the fault of the coach, and also the attitude of a few of the players last year. But besides that, Fiji will never be a structured team and will never have that kind of... that's a great scrum there from Fiji. It's a penalty as well. Oh, that is sexy. It's an absolutely beautiful scrum there from Fiji. They've done a quick tap. Interesting decision there. Interesting decision, but Fiji, obviously, fast play there. Salio says, Semi Radradra is one of the best players in the world, I'd say, not just in Fiji. Yeah, 100%. 100%, It was obviously, he was one of the best in rugby league, and now he's one of the best in rugby union too. He's just an absolute gun for his position. But it's just the fact that he's an outside back that most people are like, oh, what a kick through, what a kick through. Good. Oh, he's lost that backwards though. Oh, this should be a try. This should be a try here, Fiji. Oh, it's going to bounce out to the left-hand side. And we'll be a line out. We'll be a line out here to Fiji. 5 out here from the Georgian line. Don't forget, guys, by the way, hit that thumbs up button. And obviously subscribe if you're new around here. We're going to be doing the Ireland versus Scotland game right after this as well. But Fiji right now will get a line out 5 metres out from the Georgian line. Also, if you are here to watch the game, unfortunately due to broadcasting restrictions, it is illegal for me to show you the game. But I can tell you exactly what's going on. And let me know in the chat what your thoughts are. Nandolo. Nandolo's Sevens player, right? Isn't Nandolo a Sevens player? Namane Nandolo? I swear he plays the Sevens. Well, he did anyway. He did, I think. As Sports says 45-8 Fiji in my score. If the game continues the way we're watching right now, I honestly don't know if Georgia score. I honestly don't know if Georgia score. If the way this game is going right now is that we could win this by a significant amount. Like Fiji could win this in excess of 40 points. Fiji are playing some really good rugby to start off here. And I'm telling you this right now. All right? I'm going to tell you this right now. Fiji will be a quarterfinal team, no doubt about it, in 2023. And I'm telling you right now, they have a damn well good shot at being a semi-final team in 2023. Do I think they're going to win it? No. Do I think they're going to make the final? Probably not. But this team is going to be good come 3 years' time. Don't sleep on them. Don't sleep on them. I still think the favourites are going to be France. I still think the second favourites will be England. I still think third favourites will be South Africa, New Zealand, Australia. I think that in 3 years' time. I actually think that South Africa might even drop below New Zealand, but in 3 years' time due to progression. But I think Fiji could honestly be in front of Ireland. That'll be a big shout. I think they could be above Ireland. I can smell you says, when you're planning on starting Premier League streams again, probably after this tournament, mate. So probably next week. Obviously, my boys playing about 2 hours time. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to miss that game, the game against Fulham. But 5-0 here to Fiji, 5.5 minutes in here, and here we go, push over. Oh, try time, surely. 3 minutes short here, 3 minutes short. Fiji pushing out on the left-hand side here, very close to the try line, pushing close. 2 minutes short here of the try line. It's just going to push to the big bumpers right now. They should be able to score here off this. They should be able to easy score here off this. Look at that right-hand side. You spread this right now, they score. You spread this right now, they score. It's a penalty advantage here, Fiji. Spread it right. Spread it right. Oh, score a try either way. Boom, 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 baby. Boom, boom, boom. Try time, Fiji. It is 10-0 Fiji after 6 minutes. This is scary. This is going to be scary. This is going to be scary. It is 10 here. Johnny Dyer, my boy, Johnny Dyer from the Fijian Drua. Johnny Dyer, get around here. What a bloke. Gotta love a bit of fair, Johnny Dyer, but holy damn, Fiji are looking menacing right now. Fiji are looking really good right now. Holy damn. Johnny Dyer goes over, scores a try. Fijian Drua, brother, get around him. I can suppose it should be a comfortable win for Man City. Should be, mate. But then again, we're not exactly great this year. Salio says, South Africa is so hard to predict how they will be because they do have a new coach and we have no idea if they will continue their dominance or fall flat. For me, man, I think with South Africa, they're not going to fall flat, but I don't know if they're going to be the same team they were last year. I think South Africa, there's no way they're going to win back-to-back. I'm just calling that right now. There's no way they're winning back-to-back. I honestly think that the next World Cup could be a team we haven't seen win a World Cup for a while. I don't think New Zealand does it, and I don't think South Africa does it. It opens it up to a Northern Hemisphere team, being the first time to win outside of the 2023 World Cup, 2003 World Cup. Benny Volavola will get that conversion, so it will be 12-0 here after 7 minutes. 12-0 here after 7 minutes. Fiji looking buddy. Boom, boom. I love it. I love it. Toss a bitty, baby. Vadava, Georgia. Vadava. Is it you go, Georgia? Buddy bastard. Tell you what. So 7.5 minutes in here. I Can Smell You says, it would have been a good stream if you did the London Derby. It's what, 0-0? No thanks, mate. Medvedev says, hey Blaze, 12-0 already? It is 12-0 already, mate. 7.5 minutes in. Fiji honestly could win this game in the 50s at this rate. Frankie Lamani here. Frankie Lamani plays for the Melbourne Rebels, by the way. Good friend of mine. Well, no, I wouldn't say good friend of mine, but he's a mate of mine that I know from his Drua days. But that will be a penalty here to Georgia for some unknown reason. I don't know why. Why is this a penalty to Georgia? I'm not too sure. In 10 minutes? No, it was in the first 6 minutes that was a penalty. That was 2 tries. They scored 2 tries in the first 6 minutes of the game, not 10. But yeah, Leo, it's interesting with South Africa. I don't think they'll fall flat, but I really think that New Zealand and South Africa won't be winning that World Cup. I honestly think that France could do it, considering it is in France. Like I just said, only one Northern Hemisphere team has ever won it, and they've only won it once, which was England in 2003. And they're very damn well lucky, Johnny Wilkinson, you son of a bitch. But 2003 was England, so I think France have an opportunity. England do have an opportunity. I don't think Ireland or Wales will be competing, really. I think Ireland may be the better of the two, but Wales are looking shocking. They don't look anything good going into the future, so they've got a long way to go in their preparations. And I just think maybe they should set up a run at maybe that 2027 World Cup, which I believe could be in Australia, by the way. I heard that Australia is trying to bid for that 2027 World Cup. Which would be very interesting because obviously we had it about 24 years ago before 24 years before that would have happened. Ewan says, looking like a 70-plus points hiding is coming from Fiji. Well, they just gave away a penalty here, so it's going to be Georgia's ball, just outside the attacking 22 here. But I still think they'll be able to defend this quite easily. Sally says, most likely Australia. How good would that be? If you guys know my vlogs, we'd be going crazy, son. We'll be going crazy. I'll be traveling all over the place every weekend for some World Cup action. Tell you what, that'd be awesome. So 9.5 minutes, that's a penalty, Georgia. Oh, shit. That's a bad penalty too. He just dived over the top there. Medvedev says, I was going to ask how Fiji is leading 12-0 already, then I saw who they're up against. Well, no, it's not that. It's not the fact they've gone against Georgia. It's the fact that they're just a quality team now. You can look at it against Georgia and think, okay, yeah, but they're just a quality team now. They've much improved. With the fact that the sevens aren't here anymore as well, there's a lot more time for them to focus on it. I don't know how long until the sevens comes back. We posted a video about this 3 days ago. I put it out and I said, look, I don't know how long until it comes back. So really, Fiji should focus on 15s for the time being anyway. And obviously, I think they can really benefit from this. I think they really should be focusing on 15s as a national sport. I know 7s is a lot more exciting, a lot more flair, a lot more creativity, which is what it's known for. But I really think Fijians should get behind the 15s team because they've got a genuine chance of actually winning a big-time tournament in the next 10 years, 12 years. Next 3 World Cups. I honestly think they could have a genuine chance, not next World Cup, but the World Cup after or the World Cup after that, if they genuinely put their mind to it. Fiji is very well known if they put their mind to a sport and actually focus on it, they can actually be quite quality at it. The islands in general are like that. So they obviously did that with 7s, and they're the best team in the world. I honestly think if they focus on the 15s rather than 7s, they would become one of the best teams in the world. Someone who says, I think it's too early to predict a Rugby World Cup. Oh, 100%. 100%. I'm going based off preparations right now. It's 12-3, by the way. Georgia get a penalty. It's 12-3 here to Georgia. It's 12-3 Georgia. 12-3 to Fiji here, and it's a penalty here to Fiji. Kick the ball to the line out, or go for a quick tap if you really want to. Honestly, the way Fiji are playing right now, they're going to smack out a try. Saleo says, nobody else is really bidding for it. I read it around the start of... Argentina were, but they pulled out. Read at the start of the round of the year that Argentina pulled out. There you go. I should have read the comment first. Argentina pulled out of the bid to support Australia bid as they are in the shit financially, so that was nice. Yeah, but there's another team. There's another country, sorry. There's another country. I think it might have been... I think it was a Northern Hemisphere country, but they couldn't do it because obviously that would be after a Northern Hemisphere team in France got it, so they will bring it down to the Southern Hemisphere again. So France gets 2023, so I feel like it's required to come back to the Southern Hemisphere. That's how they usually like to play it anyway. They usually like to play it like that. So, yeah, I think Australia probably should get that, and that'd be amazing. Amazing. It's truly amazing there. So 12 minutes in here, Fiji have a scrum just outside the attack in 22 right now. Oh, no, it's Georgia's scrum. Excuse me? He gave a penalty. He gave a penalty to Fiji. Oh, Georgia away, hit on the left-hand side. Oh, that menacing start for Fiji is starting to slip away a little bit here. 12-3 here to Fiji, but the menacing start has definitely slipped away in this past, 5-10 minutes. That's going to be a penalty to Fiji, though. Beautiful penalty. That is a penalty to Fiji. Hey, buddy, yeah, hold on, son. See, the thing is that it's going to be interesting as well because Georgians obviously are very, they can be aggressive, and Fijians can also be quite aggressive. So if you're getting a bit of a punch on, they both won't stop. They both won't stop. Starleo says, no, I would love it to be in Oz, easy to travel there for me. Oh, of course. Ewan says, if Georgia don't score a try this game, people are going to wonder why even bother playing them. Well, no. People won't wonder that. They're not a team that you expect to score a try. They're a team that is a good mid-ranger. People are thinking about potentially bringing them in alongside South Africa for an 8-team tournament with the Six Nations, because obviously they want to bring in South Africa. Well, they don't really want to, but they're going to bring in South Africa because they've been basically forced out of the Rugby Championship and the Super Rugby. Right? This will be the future. Just listen. So South Africa will be forced into the Six Nations, but they're going to have to include it to make an 8-team competition. So you may as well bring in Georgia, and that's what the Autumn Nations Cup is right now. It's basically a prerequisite, like a pre-tournament to see how it would suit. And realistically, I don't think it's that bad. Oh, that's a great offload. That's gonna be a knock-on though. I think that's a knock-on against Fiji. Ooh, debatable call. I'll take it, but that's a debatable call. I'll finish what I'm saying in a second. 10 metres out here from the Georgian line. Fiji here. Wow, son. Wowee. Look at this. Look at this. Attack is just unreal right now. Frankie Lamani get that ball out to the right hand. No, back into the short side. Not too sure about that. Oh, this defence is shocking, but this defence isn't exactly ideal here. You've got to also weigh that into when you're watching. You've got to weigh into whether you're seeing good attack or you're seeing average defence. Sometimes it can be both. Sometimes it can be either. Sometimes it can be neither. Sometimes you can be looking at a game where some team scores a lot of tries and it's like, it's not really bad defence, but it's also not really good attack. It's just the way the cookie crumbles, really. Anyway, 12-3 here to Fiji. 15 minutes in here. Fiji is about 12 metres out here from the Georgian line. Come on, get that ball to the left-hand side. Vola kicks that ball over to the left-hand side. Go. Oh, average kick, actually. Did he bring that back in? From the field? Could have been 1 metre out. Did he bring it back in? No, he didn't. Try to kick it out to Johnny Dyer there. It actually is going to be taken from the infield and taken back underneath, behind. Interesting. Okay. Oh, was there a penalty here? He's taken out. Who's taken out without the ball? That's the one. Russia. Yep. Thanks, Simon Hughes. I think Russia and Australia are the only country betting for the Rugby World Cup 2027. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking about. I couldn't think of which team was the other one bidding alongside Australia. I'll get back into my points in just a second, guys, because Fiji have got a line out here. They've got a penalty. They're at the 5 metre line. So they're 5 metres out here from the Georgian line. 15.5 minutes in here. Don't forget, guys, smack that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new around here, and I will be doing the Scotland and Ireland game right after this. But Fiji here, 5 metres out, looking menacing yet again. Could be looking for another try here. Early days, make it 19-3, and this should be a penalty here already. This should be another penalty here. They're clearly over the line here. Wait, how is his feet against Fiji? Georgia are clearly over the line there. Yeah, I was going to keep the space open. Yeah, we understand that. Why is he still here? He's literally over the line. That Georgian was over the bad line out. Ah, damn it. Georgia get the ball here. Damn it. Georgia get the ball there from the line out. That was too far thrown. Didn't get to where they wanted it to be. And that will be Georgian ball here inside their own 5. Medvedev says, I know it has nothing to do with the rugby, but the next Soccer World Cup happens in 2 years' time. Would you be reacting to it? Because that's the only football I like to watch. Yeah, man. Yeah, of course. I might be going to it, depending. Oh, it's in Qatar. I don't know. We'll see how we go. Ewan says, yeah, McGree made good points. Salia says, Russia Air. Don't really know if there would be any sort of substantial interest for it there. Well, firstly, that's kind of classed as Europe. And secondly, and obviously, we just thought we would have had France in 2023, so they don't want to have 2 tournaments at the exact same area-ish. Because obviously it makes it unfair time-wise and also just tournament-wise for the teams and the fans. So that's why they usually like to switch it around. Oh, come on, Fiji, kick it through. That's going to be Fiji ball here. Okay, we're 10 minutes out. Come on, push. Tossel, Bidi. Come on, Tossel. Go to the left-hand side. Ah, Bardi. Tell you what, I actually could swear in Fijian here because no one really understands it. Go out to the right-hand side. Here we go. Tossel. Come on, go. Come on, try time. Boom, baby. That's what I like to see. Fiji, another try. Easy days. Cheers to that, lads. Easy days. Tried there on the right wing. 17-3 Fiji. Let's go, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Totsoviti. Hey, just do it, Tuasova. Vamos. Akismate says, would you do some sort of series traveling the world and vlog different sports when international travel allowed? Brother, that is literally what I do. That is literally this channel when we're not in a pandemic. Well, you know, that's that's what we've been doing the entire time. That's normally what we do. Ewan says, Semi Radradra is my favourite Fiji player. Yeah, of course. You got to love a bit of Semi Radradra. Gets the ball out to the right-hand side then. Tuisova. Puts it down on the right-hand side. Difficult kick here for Volavola, especially being a right footer. Now, I noticed in the World Cup last year that Benny Volavola isn't exactly the greatest kicker for conversions. But then again, at least he's better than Reece Hodge. Yeah, you hear me? Reece Hodge, you son of a... Buddy, tell you what, you buddy. So Benny Volavola here from the sideline. 19 minutes into the game here. Tossoviti, baby. Come on. And he kicks it. Go. He's got it from the sideline. That's what I'm talking about. But he get that right, India. So 19-3 here, Fiji. I guess he said, I thought you only did vlogs in Australia. Brother, I did a whole I didn't do a whole baseball season, but I did America. I did Chicago last year. That's how I became a massive Cubbies fan. By going to Chicago. You know, going to Chicago. I did Bulls. I did a couple of Bulls games. A couple of White Sox games. Wouldn't do that again. No, I would. Went to a couple of Blackhawks games. Went to, a heap of Cubbies games to start off the season. Oh, what a run there by the big fella, the big bupper. Ouchie, mama. If you actually have a look at last year's World Cup, that's a penalty here to Georgia. They're not releasing. If you actually have a look at last year's World Cup, by the way, Fiji weren't as bad as they, might have looked. Fiji were up at halftime against Australia by about 10 points. They ended up losing that game in the second half because they fell apart, and Australia won by a decent amount. But the game was very irreflective of what it was actually like in regards to the scoreline in the end. Second game, obviously, they played Uruguay and thought they'd already won it. They thought they'd already won the game. I know this because I have a few friends in the squad, and they told me about the situation at the time. And a lot of the blame did go onto the coaching. Because they rested a lot of that play. A lot of the players thought they'd already won against the game against Uruguay, and obviously Uruguay won that game 30-27. Really disappointing, that one. That was unbelievable. And that obviously cost them in the end because they had a really good game against Wales, but did end up losing to Wales, but very good game against Wales where if they had beat them, they would have made it through and knocked out Wales with Australia and Fiji going through. But obviously in the end, Wales, regardless, would have gone through because of the fact that they lost to Uruguay. That's going to be a turnover. Not releasing. How is that a penalty? How is that a penalty to Georgia? Is what it is. So you've got to have a look at last year's World Cup for a little bit more than just the actual scoreline results because they didn't deserve to lose by the scorelines that they did necessarily. But the Wales game was very reflective of that game. It was a very close game. Wales just pipped them in the end, but it showed they had the quality because Wales last year were a different team to what they are this year. Wales are very disappointing this year. Wales last year were not very disappointing. Wales last year were a team that actually genuinely could have won that tournament, but they didn't. Because they always play like that towards the end. I'm the Wade says you should go to the Olympics. Terrible defence. Olympics, that's going to be too much too soon. And also, I don't even know if they're going to have people there next year. I don't even know if they'll allow people in Japan for that. I doubt it. I highly doubt there'll be a crowd at the Olympics, which is so disappointing for Japan. Georgia here might have a chance to score a try here. Might have a very good chance to score a try here. That's going to be a penalty advantage, I reckon. Georgia less than 5 metres out here from the Fiji line. Ooh, here we go. Dangerous. 3 metres short here at the Fiji line. 3 metres short here. How have they even gotten to this situation is beyond me. 3 metres short here. 2 metres short, penalty. Ah, shit. Penalty here, Georgia. Oh, what are you doing, dude? As if you're going to be able to tap that one and go for it. And he didn't even score it anyway. Salia says, Georgia have only faced the typical European style this whole tournament and now seem so out of their element against the chuck it around, keep the ball alive Fiji style. Jasua Duasova had an absolute banging on the sideline try against Wales last year. He did. Yeah, he did. But yeah, Georgia, look, Georgia are never going to be facing a team like this and coming out the best. Georgia are never going to come out against a team that play this expansive stuff. But then again, it's like Georgia aren't ever really going to come out good against a team that is in the top 15 unless it's like your Tonga, who are undeservedly in 14th, above Italy. What are they, 14th? What are they, 14th? Georgia here with a line out here from the 5 metre line. Tonga are in 13th. Jeez. It's just outrageous. The rankings need to be sorted out in that regard. Like, really. Oh my God, Georgia are going to score a try. No, they're 3 metres short here. Turnover. Not releasing. Oh, buddy, gee whiz. They released last second there. Georgia here, less than 5 metres out. Oh, they're going to push over here. Oh, gee whiz. They're less than 1 metre short here. Well, he can be tackled. Oh, that's a try. Georgia scored a try. It's 19-8. Oh, man, 19-8. So, Melikidze. Georgie Melikidze will score a try there for the Georgians. They will only be down by 11 points now, with a chance to make it a 9-point game, but that's an easy try there for Georgia. Gee whiz, you can't really do too much against. Well, you could do a lot against that. That is just poor defence there from Fiji, realistically, and they shouldn't even be in that position in the first place. Salia says they played so well except for the Uruguay game, they look like a different team. Like I said, man, I know a lot of people in the organisation, and I'm telling you right now, it was a process of they thought they'd already won the game because Uruguay had never beaten them, had never beaten a top-tier team, and, they thought they'd already won it. It was a horrible game. I have a good friend of mine who was also there as a fan in the stadium, and people were not happy. I can tell you that right now. So that was more of a process of they didn't understand that rugby is a game, or just any sport is a game of you still need to put out your best team, especially in the World Cup. You only play 3 games. You don't need to rest players. You do not need to rest players in a World Cup. He's going to get the kick there, so it's going to be 19-10, a 9-point difference, 24 minutes in. Game's still on technically, but Fiji came out off the blocks, just crazy, and now they've let Georgia back into this game, which is interesting. Salia says, Georgia played well against the Irish. Can't count them out completely. They played okay. I think the Irish were just bad. The Irish haven't been good in this tournament. They were average against Wales, and yet they won like 27-10, or they won like 34-10 or whatever it was. But they still beat Wales considerably, but they were very average in the same sense. It was just that was how bad Wales were. They were okay against England, but really they still got beaten by an England team that I wasn't impressed with. And then he's offside. Okay, no, it's going to be Georgia kicking the ball over here to Fiji, just inside their own 40. And now let's see. Oh, my God, Vola. What the? Oh, no. Vola Vola, bro. That was poor. That was so poor from Vola Vola. That was so poor. That was so poor from Vola Vola. It's unreal. He passed the ball to no one. He didn't even look. It was just a hospital pass. That wasn't Fiji rugby. People are going to say, oh, that's Fiji rugby. That specifically right there was not. Oh, it's going to knock on from Fiji. Okay, well, this game's back on, isn't it? This game is back on, isn't it? Either way, says Tonga are a good rugby league team. Yeah, rugby league. Specify the league. That was horrid from Vola Vola. He also said, this shows how good Ireland is. This shows how good Ireland is? Huh? What? What? Ireland have not been great. I've literally just been telling you for the last 5 minutes how not great Ireland are, and now you're saying this shows how good Ireland is? What? You're kidding. What are you talking about? Ireland haven't been great at all in this tournament. They were so average against Wales. They were so average against England, and they were very average against Georgia. Buddy, gee whiz. G07 says, yes, Georgia. Well, they're still losing. Yeah, they're still losing, but at least they're in the game, I guess. And they could score a try here and make it 19-17. This could be a very high-scoring game. This is looking like a very high-scoring game at this rate. Wowee. 14 minutes to go here until half-time, and that's going to be a repack scrum. Jamo Ball says, what sport is this? This is rugby union, mates. This is international rugby. And Fiji, a bit of the expressive Fiji going up against the real strict defensive style and play style of the Georgians. Yes. This is the Autumn Nations Cup over there in Europe right now. Someone says, hi. Hello, Chimione. And on. Medvedev says, I'm Irish dancing with some leprechauns. There you go, mate. All right, so 5 out here with a scrum. 13 minutes to go here of the first half. Also, guys, don't forget, this is for the 7th place final. Obviously, Georgia lost every game, and Fiji, due to the fact that they had to, suspend their games for the first 3 games and not play them. Cancel them, I guess, is the word you can use. Because of that, they lost every game 28-0, which was unfair, but it is what it is. You know, that's just what the rules are. All right, so Georgia here, 5 out, going up the right-hand side. They've got a penalty advantage. Oh, my God, he's been slapped. He's been absolutely smacked. Oh, this could be a try. This could be a try. No, he's going to hit that one out. Oh, my God. Wow, he missed the ball completely. But that will be a penalty advantage to Georgia. So I assume they're going to go for the 3 here. But really, they should go for a try. They've got Fiji in numbers right now. Georgia actually have the ability to score here and to potentially bring this game within 2. Wow. That nearly was a shoulder charge, by the way. Wouldn't be surprised if they check this out, to be honest with you, to make sure this isn't a yellow card. Star Leo says, Fiji and draw into Super Rugby will be massive for them too. After that, we could see a Fiji into the Rugby Championship. I think that in the next 5 to 10 years, we'll see Fiji and Japan into the Rugby Championship. I did say this in that video. I said that Fiji and Japan are probably going to move into the Rugby Championship within the next 10 years. But that's still a decent way down the track, in my personal opinion. Yeah, Fiji come in 2022. We still wouldn't be looking for a little bit until then. But, you know, Moana Pacifica come in. You definitely wouldn't be including anyone like Samoa or Tonga. Samoa have been one of the biggest drop-offs in rugby union I've ever seen. Holy damn. Samoa, their team compared to what they used to be is just horrific. So 11 minutes to go here this first half. And Georgia here, only 5 out. Fiji and Georgia having a good scrum battle here. Oh, that's going to be... That nearly could have been a penalty against Georgia there, but they're going to keep it here. Georgia 5 meters out here from the Fiji line. Come on, Fiji. Defense, boys. Defense. Yes, penalty Fiji. Come on. Good defense, baby. Come on. That's what I'm talking about. 5 meters out. Had a couple of scrums against them. Had a bit of poor form against them. And, you know, really that comes down to Vola Vola, who I think someone said before they didn't really rate Vola Vola. I don't necessarily rate him too much. I don't think he had a great World Cup last year either. But, you know, I guess he's the most experienced in regards to the number 10 role right now for Fiji. And they do need a bit more experience, considering that the team is very young and fresh and vibrant. Someone says, how's your weekend been? It's been all right, mate. I just want to go home. Medvedev says, this game doesn't matter. Games always matter in international rugby, mate. It doesn't matter anything. It doesn't, like, the actual result in regards to the Autumn Nations Cup specifically, yeah, look, it doesn't matter. But rugby rankings, no matter what game you play in international rugby, it is always about the ranking points. So you win this game, you get points, and the other team loses points, right? So Fiji right now are currently sitting in 11th. Now, they're not going to jump anyone, and they're not going to go below anyone, because basically the rugby points from the last couple of games have dropped them down below the potential of jumping Japan. I think they genuinely could have beaten and jumped above Japan into the top 10 if they had played all 4 games. They don't. Oh, great. Look at this. Look at this more from Fiji. Look at this from Fiji right now. Go, you good bloody damn well thing. Go, you bloody good thing. Lava, Georgia. Said you go, buddy, bastard. You buddy, silly boy. Oh, no, that's a silly boy play there from Fiji. And Vola will get the ball back here, just outside our own 22. Semi Radaraja here from the breakdown. He looks like he's trying to he's going to cover it here. They're going to kick this one out. Frankie Lamani kicks this one out and see, oh no, they're going to play through the forwards right now. Only away, it says, if Ireland loses, Australia go above them. No, mate. No, we won't get enough points. Unless they got beaten by a decent amount by Scotland, they wouldn't lose enough points. And obviously that draw won't really... I don't even know if we'll get any points. That's a knock-on from Fiji. I don't even know if that draw will give any points, really, to Australia. If anything, it might give some, but not really anything at all. Salia says, there's this really neat world rankings calculator some lad made that does the exact same algorithm, but you can enter your own results in. If Ireland lose, they will move to 7th, and that's likely. Really? Really? They move to 7th? But we just drew. But what are we? We are Australia at 83.8, Ireland at 84.25. That's 0.45. We're not going to get much at all for that draw. So Ireland would have to lose a significant amount to in the Scotland game. Obviously, they'd have to lose, but they'd have to lose by a significant amount, wouldn't they? You sure? No, buddy, you sure, mate? No, you sure? One like away from 40, by the way, guys. Go and smack that thumbs up button if you haven't already. And subscribe if you're new around here, guys. We are streaming all the damn well time. And vlogs are about to start damn well returning. I can promise you that right now. Well, the new year anyway. So 32 minutes into the game here, 19-10 here. Oh, that's going to be a penalty here, Georgia. That's going to be... Oh, wow, it didn't give a penalty. That's a knock-on. Knock-on Georgia there. Great tackle. Unbelievable tackle there from Fiji. And this will be a Fijian ball here. Just outside... No, just inside the 40 here. And Frankie Lamani boots this ball down right. That's a great kick, actually. Very good kick. And, oh, that's nearly a knock-on. It's going to be knocked back, though. Georgia here under a lot of pressure now. Oh, that's a high tackle. That's a high tackle. Oh, wow, they're going to call shoulder. Okay, I'll take it. I will take it. I think that was probably high, but he's going to call shoulder, so well, damn, I'll take that. My goodness me. He's going to throw this ball back behind the 22. No, he's not. Pay BKZ says, what sport are you watching? This is Rugby Union, mate. International Rugby between Fiji and Georgia in the Autumn Nations Cup. Georgia here with the ball just outside the attacking, just outside their own defensive 22. They kick it up top here. Pretty average kick, but it goes right into the line. That's going to come back. Actually going to come here for Georgia. That's a nice kick, really. Gee whiz. Sally says, I can flip the link out of the website in the chat if you'd like. It's really quick and easy to put in. I think it's spot on accurate. I don't think that I don't think that you can put links in chats. I don't think it allows it. Like, it doesn't even let us show it. It just doesn't allow it. Unless you're like an admin or buddy me or something like that. Oh, come on. That was nearly a knock-on there. Georgia here with the ball just inside their own half right now. Just inside their own half. They pass the ball back behind their own 40. Oh, come on, man. Fiji, they've looked a bit stagnant since probably about that 15th minute. Once they gave away that 3-point penalty to Georgia, they've looked pretty average-ish. Pretty average-ish. I might try and Google it after this game, though. I will definitely do that. Vola there decides to keep it infield there. Very interesting decision there. It's going to work out to be a decent-ish kick. He slips over, Georgia. Slips over. This should be a not releasing. He should, honestly, this should be not releasing. You should get over the top here. This should be a not releasing. That is poor from Fiji. That should 100%, you should 100% have had people come over the top there, and then it'd be not releasing. That is poor, unfortunately, from the Fijians. That should have been a penalty, but they couldn't get over the top. So 34 minutes in here, Fiji up 19-10, 6 minutes to go here of the first half. The Georgians haven't played badly at all. Fiji hasn't exactly played great, but they come off to an absolute banger to start off with, and that is going to be a drop ball there. Okay. So Georgia here with the ball after the knock-on from Fiji, and that'll be an advantage for a scrum to the Georgians. I just can't believe that. If Scotland beat Ireland, then Ireland will drop into 7th. So what? They drop below Scotland. So what? Australia go into 5th. Ireland go below Scotland. And Scotland go... But Ireland are in front of Scotland by 3.2. No, they're in front by 3 points. They would have to be at 1.5 swing. 1.5 is a lot to swing. That's a lot of points to swing. 1.5 in the one game. But, it wouldn't necessarily surprise me. But obviously, I feel like Scotland would have to win by a significant-ish amount. GO07 says the pitch is terrible. It doesn't look great. This is in Scotland, by the way, guys. This is at Edinburgh. It doesn't look great. It is very slippery. Yeah, I thought that was high. I think that was high. I think he got away with that. I think that probably should have been a penalty there with Georgia. I don't think... Nah, it was against the shoulders. No, I'm wrong. I'll take it. Don't worry. I can admit when I'm wrong. Stormfan says, hello, Blaze. What's the sport? This is International Rugby Union, my friend. With 5 minutes to go the first half. Fiji. Dosoviti up 19-10 over the Georgians. But yeah, this pitch is not exactly ideal. What? By the way, I noticed that you said you go Georgia before GO07. Why didn't they play this in Georgia? Is it because the fact that all the games are in the UK? Oh, no, there are some games in France, aren't there? France have had a couple of home games. No, they haven't? No, I don't think they have, actually. No, this could just be all in the UK, isn't it? They're going to repack the scrum. Am I right in saying that all these games have been in the UK, and that's why they're allowed to host it? Because obviously this game's not in Georgia when it probably should have been in Georgia, but I guess because of the pandemic, it was all in the UK. Am I wrong in saying that? So 5 minutes left in the first half. Fiji up 19-10. So I think it's the virus restrictions with Georgia, or they just really hate the I don't know about them hating the Georgians, but it's very interesting to see if they can bring them in. They always played in the UK. Oh, so they don't have. Do they have a home? They have a home ground, surely in Georgia, right? They have a home ground in Georgia. I don't know. That's like obviously Georgia a bit more of the. I'm not going to say irrelevant. They're on the precipice. They're like the last team before the irrelevant teams come. Georgia is still somewhat relevant. Georgia aren't that. They're not that bad. They're still decent. They'll still beat every one of the teams below them, but they're not going to really beat any one of the teams above them. So they're kind of like there for me. There's like 3 different tiers. There's like Georgia by themselves, and then there's the next. And I think they're... Oh, no, Georgia and Italy are there. Georgia and Italy together, but I think Italy probably beat Georgia, especially the way they've been playing lately. Some games have been in Italy. Oh, interesting. Only in the Autumn Nations Cup. Okay, they have their own stadium. Okay, fair enough. That'd be awesome to see a Georgian home game, though. I reckon the crowd there would be crazy. I reckon the crowd would be awesome at a Georgian home game. So Fiji are going to hit this one outside their own 22 here, and the ball will go only about 25 metres out. Not a great kick there. Fiji will get tired in this game. You've got to realise that. Fiji will get tired towards the end, at least probably the last 30 minutes, because there is no preparation for this game. Fitness-wise, they will become exhausted. Fitness-wise, they will slow down. Fiji... the way they play is very exhausting in the sense they're always putting out a lot of energy. So when they get towards that last final 20, 30 minutes of the game, they're going to lose a lot of that energy because they haven't had any training or practice or gameplay. Georgia have been playing 3 weeks now, and they know they can actually possibly still win this game. I'm not going to lie to you. That's a bad wowee. That was a bad line out. That's actually one of the worst lines I think I've ever seen. That's going to be not straight, and also that was one of the worst lines I think I've ever seen. Someone who says, I think they made the Georgians playing the UK for logistical reasons. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Star Leo says, so if I put Ireland 10, Scotland 20 into the calculator, then Ireland go minus 1.5 and Scotland go plus 1.6. Wow, that's a crazy switch. That is a crazy switch. That is a big thing to talk about. Well, I don't think Scotland beat it. Well, actually, I think they could. I think they could snake it. Do I think it's going to happen? I'm not going to come and say Scotland do win, but Scotland haven't been bad. The Duncan Ware, ooh, cheeky. It's a sneaky prospect. Where is it in? Is it in Ireland? Is it in Ireland? I've never really... Oh, here we go. Fiji win the scrum. Okay, here we go. Right through the centre. Oh, he's lost the ball straight away. You goosebag and a half. You goosebag times 10. Welchy mama. So Georgia here, they're going to kick it over the top. Oh my God, that's... excuse me. Oh, the bounce was horrendous. What was that? Why is there no advantage? How... honestly, I nearly said, how dare you, to the ball. I nearly said, oh, that's a knock on Fiji. Oh my God. I nearly said, how dare you. That ball bounced above it. That was an incredible play there from Georgia. He kicks the ball over the top. The Georgia was... it was an easy try if the ball bounces for him, but it bounced over the top of him, unfortunately. Georgia are playing well here. Georgia are actually genuinely playing well here. It's in Dublin. Oh, there you go. Yeah, Ireland should win that game. I believe the Premier League is allowing fans in today. I think the Premier League is returning to fans, so I'm not too sure how Ireland is right now. I would guess that they wouldn't allow it to be an unfair advantage in that sense, so they would just still not allow them in. But I know that England are obviously playing at Twickenham, so they honestly would be allowed to bring in fans if they wanted to. Just a little FYI. Oh, that should be a penalty against Fiji, to be honest with you. That should be a 3-point penalty. No, wow, they're not going to give a penalty there. It's still going to be Georgia's ball here. 10 metres out here from the Fiji line. Georgia's attack is obviously still quite stagnant, though. You know, they're not really doing anything here. They're just kind of plummeting it through the forwards right now. But Fiji have a good forward, they've got a good bunch of forwards to stop them. They've just lost 5 metres there from running through the forwards. So they can't really just rely on going through the forwards here, the Georgians. They're going to get matched. Georgia have to try and spread this. They have to try and beat the Fijians at their own game, realistically, because Fiji, being expansive, have the ability to concede the tries, but they're not going to concede the tries down the middle. They're going to concede the tries out wide and through the gaps. They're never going to concede the tries down the middle. It's like, look, they're not making any meters here. They're still a decent 10 meters out, and that's exactly where they started right now. They need to spread this and try and find the gaps here, Georgia. So we've gotten to the halfway point of the game. It is 40 minutes, but we've gotten to the red marker. We've gotten into the red marker right now, so we're past the siren. But obviously, it won't stop until there's a stoppage in play going out of the sideline. Or good play there by Fiji. Couldn't really be offside, but no, good play there by Fiji. And yet they lose a lot more meters. Georgia here are doing absolutely nothing in attack. What happened to the play we just saw before where they kicked it over the top and there was a Georgian who was just running through it like a madman? There's nothing going on here. They're 15 meters out, and that's going to be a penalty Fiji. Well done, Georgia. That is another time there where Fiji win the defensive battle. And they shouldn't be winning the defensive battle against any other teams. They're not a great defensive team. They're a great offensive team, attacking team, but they're not a great defensive team. Georgia would not be happy with that. So that's going to be half-time here. And Fiji will be leading 19-10. Decent game. Fiji definitely deserve to be the leaders, but Georgia definitely are not out of it. They're definitely with a chance here. They're only down by 9 points, so there's plenty of time for them to come back in that second half, especially considering, like I said, that final 20 to 30 minutes is going to be a real difficult battle here for the Fijians. They're really going to find it tough with no game preparation to still win this game and hold out a team that is a massive grinding team in conditions that look a little bit wet. It's not like it's pouring down rain like we saw with the Australia versus Argentina game, but it is a little bit wet there. It is Scotland, so Scotland, it does rain quite a bit. It's the UK. Cloudy conditions. This does kind of suit Georgia's style. They would obviously like it to be played more on a rainy pitch, but in the same sense, Georgia definitely can still win this game. Saleh says, amazing start for Fiji for sure, very explosive. Yeah, the opening 10 minutes was, but they fell apart. They didn't really have that ability to keep that explosiveness up. If they had to score one more try and made it like a 7, maybe 19-0 in the first 15 minutes, I feel like this game would have blown out significantly because Georgia would have thought, well, shit, we're already on the back foot. But I feel like going up 12-0 and then stopping for the next 10 minutes and allowing Georgia to get a penalty really showed that Georgia can score. And that's a problem they've had. Georgia's biggest problem in this World Cup and in general is scoring. It's not their defense. Their defense is not horrid. Their defense is actually quite decent. It's just their attack that is absolutely horrific. We've seen the majority of times in this game keep getting into the 5 metre, keep getting 10 metres out, but they can't score a damn well try. They can't do anything. This is a Fiji team that is not great defensively, and yet you still can't score against them past that 10-0. Honestly, it should be Georgia probably, based on the attacks in this first half, should be leading. They should be leading. They've had 3 attacks 5 metres out, and they haven't been able to score. They give 3 penalties away. 3 penalties away to Fiji. I love Fiji. Fiji's absolutely fantastic when it comes to the attack, but defensively, we are not great. Sammy Sue says, I figured wet weather would have affected the Fijians, but good on them for defending the last couple of minutes of the first half. Yeah, exactly right. Wet weather is not great for Fiji. We're very well known for dropping the ball, when it's a dry track, let alone wet track. We have dropped the ball quite a lot of times in this game. Fiji do still have the ability to lose the possession, but in the same sense, yeah, wet weather is something that Fiji does never want. It is not something that Fiji ever wants. It is something that, teams like your Argentina, teams like your Georgia, teams like, even Wales, to an extent, would probably prefer a bit more of a wet track than a dry pitch. The dry teams would be your England, your Australia. No, England wouldn't mind either way, really. I think England don't really give a shit. I think New Zealand would prefer a dry track too. I think in a wet track, I think Argentina might actually sneak past them. I think Argentina beat most teams on a wet track. I think Argentina beat most teams when it comes to a wet, grindy game. I think that Georgia keeps it close. I think they keep it within 20, and that's close for them. I think Fiji, obviously, they are a team that just wants to have that spruce in the step. They want that bounce off the ground, and that's exactly like the Wallabies. That's exactly like the All Blacks. That's exactly like South Africa. South Africa would be ginormously affected by rain. Jordan Merritt, did you get that bloody haircut yet? Mate, I'm not getting a bloody damn well haircut. I'm growing my hair out to my dead well ankles. You hear me, son? You hear me? No, I haven't got a haircut yet. I guess I probably won't get a haircut until I get back to Australia, to be honest with you. But, it is what it is. Chris34 says, Sammy the Beast. Mate, Sammy Radraja, what a beautiful man. What a beautiful damn well man. Star Leo says, I assume their Georgian attack works against the weaker sides they normally face, so it's good they're getting more games against the bigger nations. They need it. Got to get that Tier 1 experience. Well, I think... I said this in the World Rugby review that I post every Monday. If you haven't subscribed yet, you damn well subscribe right now, right? Because every Monday we do a World Rugby review. And also, obviously, we're streaming all the time. We're doing the Ireland versus Scotland game right after this, and England-France tomorrow. But yeah, Georgia, they play a lot of games against lower tier nations and teams that are lower than them. Italy play a lot of teams that are higher than them. So that's why Italy are obviously below Georgia, and Georgia are, I think, a 12th or something like that, just below Fiji. Really, Italy are a better team. But just the way the teams they play. So it is good to see Georgia going up against these bigger teams now, and that's why I would advise Georgia joining the Six Nations and with South Africa to make it an eight-team competition. We've already seen that South Africa are going to be forced into competition. So Georgia is probably the best suited team to go inside with them. I can't think about any other European nation that possibly could join outside of that. Spain, Romania, Portugal, no. None of those are doing anything. Even though I didn't think Portugal were that bad against Brazil the other day when I was watching that game. But no, it's not happening. So yeah, I think Georgia and South Africa, and Georgia will definitely significantly improve from that if they were included into like an 8 nations kind of tournament. Patrick Thomas says, do you think England or France? I think England, but I only think England because right now France aren't prepared for a World Cup yet. I think that in a couple of years' time, I think they're going to be favourites for the 2023 World Cup in 2022. I think France will go in favourites, but I think that they're still utilising a team that isn't their first team. I still think that France are toying and mixing it up with their team quite significantly, and I don't think this is what we're going to see in 3 years' time in a full team basis. I think that next year we'll start to see a little bit more of the. I think we're seeing the Six Nations. Watch for the Six Nations. This is a precursor tournament that is just testing out the waters for an eight-team competition. The Six Nations in February is going to be incredible. I'm going to be streaming all those games. It's going to be awesome to see those teams really play with their full team. I think France honestly could genuinely. I don't think they'll win next year. I think they'll win the Six Nations in 2022. And they'll start to frustrate and give a bit of a scare factor to the teams outside that don't believe them just yet. Because I watch all rugby games, right? So I can tell you right now that I know a lot more than you people who are just saying like that. They just look at a scoreline and think, oh, okay, France are okay. France are pretty good. It's like, yeah, they beat Scotland, but they weren't that great. I watch their games and I see, okay, there's a lot more improvement to come here. They played. I would have loved to have seen them play Fiji. That was the first game of the tournament. They didn't get to play them because obviously the pandemic and with Fiji. But I would have loved to see France versus an expressive style like Fiji. I think France is an upgraded version of Fiji, in my personal opinion. I think the way they play is very similar-ish, but I think France is a lot more. They're a structured version of Fiji rugby, in my personal opinion. So it would have been very interesting to see them. But I think, yeah, France overall, they definitely are tracking very well for the World Cup in 2023. Being on a home turf, I genuinely think they'll probably go in as favourites. Chris34 says, how can Fiji improve for the next World Cup? I still think that South Africa or All Blacks winning it. Absolutely not. I think South Africa and All Blacks will not. All Blacks, for one, tracking-wise, they're not tracking that great. This season, this rugby season, they looked average. This rugby season, they looked average, and going forward, I don't know if they have the ability to win the World Cup against some of the teams that we're looking at going forward. I honestly think that South Africa might stagnate a little bit. I don't know what their team's going to look like in 3 years' time, though, like we were talking about before. I just don't know if South Africa are going to have the same abilities that they do this time around. They're going to compete still, but I honestly think the way the Wallabies are tracking, they'll probably be around 5th favourite, but I think they should be about 3rd favourite. I think France will be favourites. I think England will probably be 2nd. I think Fiji will be 6th. I think they'll be above Ireland. I think they're really tracking really nicely, but they just need to fix their defense. Like, you can't really fix anything with Fiji. That's the thing. Fiji will always play Fiji way. So it just comes down to the players they bring in. It just comes down to the chemistry that works with the team, because you can't coach Fiji. People don't realise this. You cannot coach the team. You cannot coach Fiji. Fiji are uncoachable. The only thing that you can coach Fiji is the stamina, is the actual way that we play, is the actual fitness-wise, and the I guess the chemistry. Besides that, you cannot coach this team. It is too expressive. They will never ever go down to a structured game style. So I think Fiji definitely should deserve to be. I think they deserve to be a top 5 team going into that World Cup in 2023, but they won't be. They'll be like 6th, 7th. They'll probably still go in underneath Ireland and Wales. But if you ever think that Wales, based on what we're seeing right now, are going to be in the mix, you are dreaming, son. They've got probably a good 6, 7 years worth of restructuring before they get back to the team they were last year and in 2018. G7 says, when do you think Georgia will enter the Six Nations? Well, really, not next year. Maybe 2022. Honestly, South Africa are not going to be they'll probably be in the Rugby Championship next year. But when's the Sansar deal finish, actually? Can someone let me know in the chat when the Sansar deal finishes? Because I'm pretty sure, obviously we know Super Rugby's done. Super Rugby's done. South Africa's done. South Africa's gone. We've already spoke about this. We spoke about this in the video the other day. If you haven't seen it yet, go and check it out. The Super Rugby 2022 format. It affects Argentina. And we obviously spoke about the fact that South Africa have basically, they're moving their teams. They're done. Super Rugby is now Australia, 5 teams, New Zealand, 5 teams, Moana Pacifica, and the Fijian draw. And I hope Argentina eventually, alongside maybe Japan, but for the time being, it's the Pacific. So I think that 2022, 2023 potentially, until the World Cup. Okay, so maybe 2024 then. I think that so 2023, I'd say 2024 then, if that's the way, based on the Sansar deal. They still probably could get it. Rugby Championship really should stick the way it is, but it just suits South Africa more. They want it, Europe doesn't, but they'll be forced to take it, really. Look, it'll be interesting. We spoke about this the other day. So if you want to check out my thoughts on that, go and check out the video that I made. Patrick Thomas says, Georgia to join making it 7 Nations. 7 Nation Army is the theme song. Nah, it's going to be 8 nations. This is the reason why we're doing this tournament right now. This Autumn Nations Cup is really a precursor tournament to seeing if an 8-nation competition works. South Africa will join alongside Georgia, in my personal opinion. Is it locked in? No. This is still my opinion. But like I said, I watch a lot of rugby. I see a lot of news. And I know a lot of the players inside a couple of these teams, and the way it's leaning is that way. South Africa and Georgia eventually joining. Like I said, I don't know when, but it definitely is in the talks. Chris34 says, All Blacks in South Africa for sure, brother, unless you bring in the mighty Gold Coast Titans, but All Blacks for sure, Kazi. Nah. No. I just don't think so. I honestly think Northern Hemisphere team is lined up prime. I think a Northern Hemisphere team is prime to win the World Cup in 2023. Like I've been saying in streams, if you look at all the World Cups, Australia have won 2, Southern Hemisphere. New Zealand have won 3, Southern Hemisphere. South Africa have won 3, Southern Hemisphere. England have won 1, Northern Hemisphere. I'm telling you right now, a Northern Hemisphere team is more than likely going to win that World Cup in 2023. It's in France. It's in the Northern Hemisphere. France are looking good. England are looking damn well good. Ireland will be there. I don't think Wales do it. I think there's honestly those 3 teams. Honestly, I don't think Ireland. I've got those 2 teams. I got an England versus France. I got an England or France win that World Cup. I think they could obviously go up against the Wallabies, or they could go up against South Africa. Everyone's going to laugh at me because the Wallabies. It's like, listen, 3 years down the track, talk to me then. But I think England and France probably win that World Cup. Yeah. But I'll go with France for the time being. J.A. Maisha says, is Fiji underrated? Fiji aren't underrated. They're rated just perfectly. I think people understand that Fiji are a decent-ish team coming forward. I think the Fiji defensively need a lot of work, but you can't fix that. I guess you can do your best to fix that, but you can train all you like, but Fiji is still going to play like they play. Once you realise that, the sooner you realise that, the sooner you realise that a coach is quite unnecessary. Get a few physiotherapists in, get a few fitness trainers in, happy days. To an extent, obviously. But Fiji aren't underrated. They're rated just finely. Everyone who knows rugby knows Fiji are better than, where are they? They're 11th. They're better than Japan, in my personal opinion. They're better than Wales right now. Obviously, you can't really take this game too seriously right now because they've had 3 weeks off, a year and a half off. They've had no preparation rugby-wise in any form for a year and a half. So please. So they can lose this game, they can win this game. I don't really care. This game is just World Rugby rankings points-wise to me, honestly. But they're better than Japan, in my opinion. They're better than Wales. I genuinely think they'd give Scotland a good run for their money. I think they'd give Australia a good run for their money right now. They'd give Ireland a good run for their money. I think Argentina probably beat them just based on game styles. I think France beat them. I think New Zealand beat them. I think England beat them, and I think South Africa beat them. I think they still give South Africa a good run for their money, though, in the game style department. But in the same sense, I still think South Africa come through in that. So for me, I don't think they're underrated. I think that if you know rugby, you know that they are a decent team. But they're not better than a decent team right now. 3 years' time, then talk to me. You know what I mean? Rads Gaming says, hello, Rads Gaming. How you doing, champion? Bonavanaku to everyone in Fiji, by the way. Vadava, said Tico. Hope you're okay. Salia, I'm in Nandi right now. Salia says, thing is with the All Blacks is that you can never count them out by any means, even if they are looking average at the minute. Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they can't win it. What I'm saying is I don't think they can win it. I think they can. I don't think they will win it. I think they can win it, of course. You can't count out South Africa. You can't count out any tier 1 nation. You can't count out, Australia. You can't count out New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, England, France. Obviously Ireland. I guess Wales. I am counting them out right now, to be honest with you. But things can change in 3 years' time. A lot of things can change. But really, I want to wipe them out right now. Second half is about to start, by the way, guys. The score is 19-10 to Fiji over Georgia. Don't forget, we are streaming the Ireland versus Scotland game right after this. So if you're not subscribed yet, go down there, hit that subscribe button, and obviously smack that thumbs up button as well. Somebody says Fiji in the Women's World Cup last I heard. Fiji, Fiji have a team. Yeah, Fiji have a team in the Women's World Cup. Chris34 says, I'll bet you $1,000 on the Net World Cup for all South Africa. Too long away, mate. Too long away. Rads Gaming says, do you think Fiji will qualify for the World Cup next year in New Zealand? What do you mean? For the women's? What do you mean? For the men's World Cup, the Fiji will qualify. What are you talking about? What do you mean? What do you mean? Thank you very much for subscribing. Appreciate you. What do you mean? Are you talking about the Women's World Cup, or Fiji will qualify regardless, wherever it is? If it's in New Zealand next year, then great. But Fiji will. Fiji would have already qualified. I'm pretty sure the draw is already. When's the draw? I swear the draw is sometime soonish. Next year is the women's. Oh, there you go. Someone who says South Africa is the Rugby Championship for the next 10 years. That's what I've heard. 10 years. Oh, there you go. Then after that. But then we all know how good contracts are nowadays. You look into that 2022 Super Rugby tournament and you can see what the direction is anyway. Especially with how Australia and New Zealand have a very disappreciation for the way that organisation is run in regards to telling people how to do things when they obviously made a lot of mistakes over time. But 41 minutes in here, 39 minutes to go. Fiji get a penalty. Beautiful. Boom. Toss of Vitti, baby. Ooh, toss of Vitti. Patrick Thomas says, Six Nations versus Rugby Championship, which is better? I find that Six Nations have a lot more competition and less predictable. Well, I guess the fact you say a lot more competition is based on the fact that there's more teams, but really, there's only one team that can win it every year. Tell me I'm wrong. Like this year, who do you think is going to win this 2021 Six Nations? It's going to be England. It's going to be England. Ireland aren't great. Wales aren't great. Scotland aren't that necessarily good. Well, they're not good enough to win the Six Nations. France, probably not. Maybe 2022. And don't even talk to me about Italy. Don't even look at me about Italy. Usually it's only one team that can win it. Every year in the Rugby Championship, it's between South Africa, New Zealand, and necessarily Australia, but really, it's not really. So for me, it's still every year 2 teams, but I guess it is still a very repetitive tournament. But yeah, Six Nations wise, like it's not really extra competitive based on what I've just said. It's usually you know who's going to win it the year of. Usually, obviously, sometimes a shock happens, but usually. Sarleo says they are calling both of them just Rugby World Cup instead of men's and women's, and it's really confusing. Well, there you go. Yeah, well, Fiji they'll qualify in both. 4 likes away from 50, by the way, guys. Go and smash that thumbs up button. It is 1 o'clock here, 1 a.m. in the morning here in Fiji. So, I'm doing the hard yakka. No, it's not that hard, but obviously it gets a little bit harder in that Ireland versus Scotland game about 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Someone who says, who won between Fiji and Japan the last time they met? I have actually no idea. I don't even know if they... I would assume Fiji, because it would have been in a time that Japan rugby hadn't evolutionised yet. It would have been in a time that Japan rugby was still struggling. Obviously, nowadays, that's different. Nowadays, Japan are a quality team, but back then, it was a bit different. But Fiji here, just outside the attack in 22 right now. Can they get off to a great start again? Because, like I said, they're going to slow down for the final 20 minutes. So, that's a penalty there against Georgia. You bloody dog of a referee. That was a penalty there for 100% for Fiji. 22 out here from the Georgian line. Let's go. Gets that to the left. No, don't go short side. No. A 2-on-1 situation in favour of Georgia. 3-on-1 situation in favour of Georgia there. And yet they still got to the left-hand side. It was a bad decision there from Frankie Loani. Australia win the World Cup next year. But, it's Rugby League. Oh, okay. Sorry, I was thinking about the other question now. No, Rugby League World Cup. Yeah, Australia win. How is that not a knock-on against Fiji? Interesting call there. Very interesting call. Wow, that was an elbow to the face there against Georgia, in my opinion. I think Fiji should have been penalised twice there. That's a terrible kick. Absolutely shocking kick from Fiji. And they'll go out to the sideline. But realistically, I think that's a yellow cardable offence there. I think that's a yellow cardable offence. I think Fiji are going to get Team O here, and they're going to get a yellow card against them. Silas, they probably faced each other in the Pacific Nations Cup last year before the World Cup, but I don't know the result. I'm pretty certain that Fiji would have won, mate. I'm pretty certain. Patrick Thomas says, feel like Gatland's Wales were the peak. They were consistent before him. They were wild cards, causing upsets and won Grand Slam in 2005. Yeah, look, Wales aren't going to be the same team for a while, mate. They've got a long way to progress. They've got a significant amount of things to change in that organisation before they get successful again. They peaked too early too, by the way. They peaked too early. They peaked in 2018. They peaked just 1 year too early alongside Ireland. Wales and Ireland both peaked a year too early. If that World Cup was held in 2018, it would have been a World Cup final between Ireland and Wales, which would have been amazing to see. Here we go. So we're going to see if this is going to be... Let's see if this arm goes to the chin here. It could actually hit the chest first and go up. I haven't really seen a good angle here. All right, now we're going to see. And, that could be looking... That looks a little bit bad. That might be bad here. Let's see. And, it does kind of ride up from the shoulder. I think it looks worse than it is. Here we go. This is a good angle. I think it hits the body first. I think this will be okay. I think this might be okay here. I think this might be okay. It hits the upper chest area and then goes up. I don't think this is a yellow cardable offence. I don't know if this is a yellow cardable offence here. Not too sure. Not too sure here. So 44 minutes in here. We're about to see... Yeah, it's not going to be a yellow card. Surely not. So, it's going to be fine. So, it hits the chest first. That's fine. Yeah, now we're talking, son. Now we're damn well talking. Leveni Botia. Good on you, champ. I would love if they put the village they're from on the screen because, obviously people are very proud of that. Especially we saw that with the Moana Pacifica versus Māori All Black game just before hand. We streamed that game before the Australia versus Argentina game. And that's going to be a good line out there from the Georgians. They're not going to make any measures from this, though. They're going to get pushed back. That was horrible bringing down. Like, no one armed up there. No one linked up there to defend that. They're getting pushed back behind their own 5 metre here. This is horrendous from Georgia. This is horrific. Wow. That was some of the poorest IQ play I think I've ever seen. Wow. Georgia, from the line out, bring it down. No one comes in to push. No one comes in to push. and they get taken back 10 metres, and then no one gets the ball out. So the penalty goes to Fiji, and now Fiji will be 10 metres out. More than likely take a scrum here. Probably the smartest option, and just push them. Actually, no, smartest option was still to go to line out here, because Georgia still have a solid pack there for the scrum. Patrick Thomas says, do you think Australia are at the rebuilding stage like England 2016, or are they playing the long game in 2027? I don't think Australia win 2023, but I think they'll be a contender. I think they could definitely make a semi-final, but I think 2027, the World Cup will be in Australia. I think we win that, yeah. Simon Hughes says, average Japan won against Fiji last year in the Pacific Nations Cup. I would like to see the team list. I'd love to see the team list there. And also, that was last year. I said that I thought that would be when Japan wasn't exactly a... that's going to be a penalty, Fiji. I said that was when Japan probably wouldn't have been the nation they are right now in rugby. So last year's a bit different, but I'd love to see the team list there. I think that was in Fiji, wasn't it? I'm pretty certain that wasn't the actual full team list there for Fiji. But, I could be wrong. Let me know. Happy to be wrong there. But... I would highly, highly doubt that... But that's an idiot move there from Georgia. I'd highly, highly doubt that full team against full team, Japan beats Fiji. They're both very similar, but I think Japan are a lot more structured in their expressive style. They're a very expressive team, but they're structured. They love to pass the ball out wide. They love to mix it up, but they do know when to do it rather than just kind of willy-nilly and all over the shop like Fiji do. But the way Fiji do it is very good because people obviously don't know what's coming. With Japan, you still kind of know what's coming. Whether you defend it or not is a different question, but you still kind of know what's coming. Flame says, will you say the England are contenders for the 2023 final? 100%, mate. 100%. I've got England or France winning it. I've got a Northern Hemisphere team winning it. And that's going to be a repack scrum here for Fiji and Georgia. So 47 minutes in here, 19-10 Fiji. Fiji should score a try here. But yeah, I think England or France win it. I think Northern Hemisphere team is set up to win that 2023 World Cup. And then I honestly think the Wallabies win 2027. Especially with it more than likely being in Australia. I think that Russia probably get the 2031 World Cup. But I think Fiji, get that 2027 World Cup. Australia. Sarleo says, you got to remember Japan had big wins against Scotland and Ireland. It would make sense for them to beat Fiji. Yes, but... I was more so referring to the fact that I thought the last time Japan played Fiji would have been before this Rugby World Cup, bloody evolution, before they became this big old damn world team that just kind of blew up. I would have thought that, but I still think Fiji beat Japan. I could be wrong. I'm happy to be proven wrong. I would just like to see the team list. So 48 minutes in here. Frankie Lamani here from the scrum. Don't go short side. Okay, good. Okay, pass that ball to the left-hand side. Get that ball. No. Why are you passing that ball back inside? Why pass that ball back on the inside there when you have absolute numbers out left? You have about 5-on-2 opportunity out there. Okay, get this ball short side now. Not short side. Get this ball out now. No, not to the forwards. You have so much space in the wings. This isn't like a general person saying get it the wings because it's just like the easier option. It's like no, they've actually got plenty of spaces on the wings right now, a lot of spaces, and they've got numbers to boot. But they're going to run through the forwards here. I guess they're going to go try and tit for tat for with the Jordans for their defensive front. So 5 meters out here for Fiji. You're going to push down. They're still 5 meters out right now. Still 5 meters out. Fiji should be scoring a try here. I don't know why they keep going into the same direction though. Honestly, you spread it against Georgia and you're going to score. You spread it against Georgia in any game and you should be scoring. It is still somewhat, wet-ish, but not really. Not really. 2 meters short here from the Georgian line. Fiji with the ball. Look at how packed they are. Anyone with a brain, pass this ball out to the right-hand side. Pass this ball out right. Don't keep going with your centre. Maybe. No, they're not going to score there. I don't know. They're going to check this. TMO, I reckon. They're going to check TMO here. I'm the Oasis. France have a lot of players out because they have played too many games. What? Too many games? What's going on there? Flame says, I think France will win their 2023 just due to the fact all their players are in their early 20s and will be in their prime for the World Cup. That's what I'm saying. I'm telling you, France, England, Australia... You can't wipe out New Zealand, South Africa. France, England, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa is really the only teams that can win that World Cup. Really, realistically. I just don't think Ireland will be there in 2023. I don't think Wales will be there in 2023. We're going to see if he puts it down here. Okay, sorry, I wasn't even looking at the game there. Look, I'm pretty sure that's a try. Unless, sorry, I didn't really see that. All right, here we go. So we're going to see if he puts the ball down here. So they're checking the TMO right now. I think he's been held up. No, he's been held up. I don't even know what we're looking at here. Oh, no, he's still going. No, he was still moving there. There was no stoppage of the movement. There was no stoppage of the movement from this angle. Obviously, we're still going to see it from the other angle. I'm still going to see it from the other angle, but from that angle, he hadn't stopped. All right, so this will be the angle here that shows if he stops or not. So he goes over the top. He's down-ish there. Oh, I think he stopped movement and then he moved again. I think that from the other angle, he didn't stop at first, but then after he made another movement, his arm touches the ground, he kind of stops movement, and then he makes another movement there. Yeah, look, I don't think so. I don't think so, buddy. No. I don't think so, buddy. Salio says, France, I think, are a lock at least for the semis, and then you just never know which French team will show up for the finals. Yep, exactly right. But I do think they were very unlucky not to win that 2011 World Cup final. But obviously, it is what it is. Patrick Thomas says, I think to win a World Cup, you need one competitor in your group stage. If you have an easy group, you will underperform in the quarterfinals. Example, New Zealand 2007 or England 2011. Yep, bingo. You're 100% right. You're 100% right. They're still checking this, by the way, for a TMO. I don't think it's a try, though. He's fine there, but then he stops there, and then he moves again. I think that's a no try. Yeah, South Africa were in New Zealand. New Zealand was in South Africa's group. South Africa actually lost to New Zealand last year. South Africa lost to New Zealand in the first game, and people started wiping them out. I was like, hold on, shit, man, relax. South Africa is still a damn well good team. They're still a damn well favourite. Yeah, no try. South Africa is still a damn well good team, and people are like, nah, they just lost to New Zealand. New Zealand are probably going to win this World Cup. It's like, shit, man. I thought England had a better chance to win that World Cup before the World Cup than New Zealand did, and obviously England ended up beating New Zealand because the way New Zealand play, they would still find it very difficult. I think England would beat New Zealand right now. I think England would beat New Zealand right now. Tell me I'm wrong in the chat. Yeah, I'll tell you you're wrong. No, I think the way England play right now, they'd beat New Zealand. I'm the Oasis front. That's all right. Salia says, you got to remember Japan have big wins. Oh, yeah, I've already read that comment. All right, so 50 minutes in here, 19-10 to the Fijians. But Fiji, they gave away a scrum there. Sorry. I was expecting Fiji to get the ball there, but no, it's going to be Georgia ball here. 5 minutes out from their own line here. Well, why are they repacking? Georgia just decided, oh, you know what? We want to repack this ourselves. Patrick Thomas says, which team would you say performed the best this year? Interesting question because it comes down to perspective. That question comes down to perspective of, situations. Obviously not Wallabies. Obviously not All Blacks. I'd probably say, I guess results-wise, you could say England, and England are going to win more than likely tomorrow night for me. You'd probably have to go with England, but I think Argentina, due to the conditions and due to the situation, I'd say Argentina more than likely. They've still got 2 draws. That's penalty Georgia. Shit, man. Penalty Georgia. So Georgia get a penalty here from their own 5. Bad scrum there from Fiji, and they're going to get out of trouble here. 10 minutes into the second half, collapsing scrum against Fiji. Stupid, man. Stupid. I'd say that perspective-wise on how the team tracked into the tournament, I'd say Argentina. In general, I'd say England. G07 says, are you Fijian? I'm Australian, but I live in Fiji. My daughter's Ratuman in Fiji, and I get around Fiji, yes. I am, obviously I always get around the Wallabies, but Fiji is I'd probably say, as long as they're not playing Australia, I always support Fiji, yeah. But obviously on the channel, I stream everything, It just because I get around Fiji doesn't mean I don't mind the Georgians. I respect how they play. I just don't think that Georgia will be any good really for at least a 15-year period. They have to at least be in that 6 Nations tournament, 7 Nations, 8 Nations, whatever, for a significant portion before they'll start to get any serious financials to be able to improve their team. Because organisation-wise and training-wise and facilities-wise, I don't know if Georgia will ever be able to compete financially. But if they get into the 8 Nations, 7 Nations, 6 Nations, they'll start to improve that time by time. And you could see them really make a push to be a top 10 team, because right now they're nowhere near a top 10 team. But, they can make a push in about, 14 years' time, depending on how long it takes to get into the Six Nations tournament. Now, you've also got to realise in regards to the top 10 is that really it's top 9 before it drops off a little bit. The significant drop comes off after 15. Once you hit Samoa and Tonga, Tonga are too high. Once you hit Samoa and Tonga, that's a severe drop-off from the middle classes. 10 to 14 is the middle classes. Oh, it's a good lineup there from Georgia. And Georgia are going to come through the centre here. Oh, that's a big hit there, 40 out. Georgia are part of the middle classes alongside your Italy. I guess alongside the Fiji and Japan, if you want to class it like that. Don't even talk to me about Tonga. Tonga got beaten by like 70 points at the World Cup. You know, you cannot be a middle classer and get beaten by 70 points. None of Japan, Fiji are going to... Japan, Fiji, really Italy. Italy probably will lose by 40 to 50, but they're not going to lose by 70. Salia says, if you look historically, you can't count on Argentina to perform. They came third in 2007, fourth in 2015, and made quarterfinals at least in the majority of their World Cups with the exception of the last Cup. Yes, but they've always been in Super Rugby. They're not going to be in Super Rugby next time out. So where's their preparation going to come from? Big question. Where's their preparation going to come from? All right, that's a knock-on from Georgia, and Fiji will get the ball here inside the attacking 40. Ooh, here we go. But yeah, where's the preparation going to come from for Argentina? Where is it? Tell me. Where's the preparation going to come from? Going to come from a couple of friendlies? They've always, they've had the Jaguares. You know, they have players here and there, but Jaguares is usually used as a little bit of an Argentina warm-up. That's usually their way to get prepared. Patrick Thomas says, when do you Australia are able to beat England again, or does Eddie know them too well? Oh, when can Australia beat England again? I think probably give it 2-3 years. I reckon probably World Cup year. 2-3 years. I think that Rennie will do a good job. I think Rennie is definitely on target. I've watched all games from Australia. I've watched plenty now to know that Rennie is improving this team. So, yeah, I think that Australia definitely are tracking towards the right direction. Yes, obviously this was a bit of a frustrating tournament and rugby season, but in the same sense, you look at it, you can look at it very positively, you can look at it very negatively, or you can look at it for what it actually showed, but you can actually make positives and negatives in a significant amount from this tournament. But I would definitely lean with the positives, because you look, they probably should have won 3 extra games, but due to the inexperienced kicking and inability to clutch up a kick, Reece Hodge obviously lost 3 games in regards to that, and I would nearly blame Reece Hodge for those 3 losses. So, 1 loss, 2 draws. Actually, no, 3 draws. Sorry, 3 draws. 3 draws. All 3 of them because of him. So, Fiji here. Oh, he nearly breaks through. 22 out here. 22 out. Come on, Fiji. Come on, Fiji. 22 out here. They're going to punch this ball up through the centre. There's a gap through the centre. No, should have gone through the centre. Oh, no, it's a try, surely. Bingo. Bingo, look at him go. The big fella, floats it in. Try time, baby. Come on. Fiji, Tosoviti. Tosoviti, va. Tosoviti, baby. Try time, 24-10. That's what we're talking about. Boom. That's what we're talking about, son. Lovely work. Lovely work. Fiji go down the right wing there. I thought they had a gap on the inside there. Probably could have scored earlier inside the post, but they spread it out wide, and brilliant try out there on the right wing, and just absolute dominance there. Sheer power to hold himself up there while he's being tackled by 3 Georgians. Pass the ball on the inside. But look at this, the big number 14. Ouch. Oh, look at him go. Look at him go. Gets the ball on the inside there for an offload. Lucky they didn't knock that ball on, because that's definitely a type of play that a lot of players would knock on, but he held his ground, grabs the ball, try time Fiji. Boom. So 24-10 here with a kick to come to Benny Volavola. 55 minutes in here. Finn Fitzgerald, his thoughts on England versus France tomorrow. Interesting game, but I think England win. I will be streaming this game, guys. I will be streaming England versus France tomorrow, 2 a.m. for me. But I will be streaming England versus France tomorrow. So definitely, if you're not subscribed yet, subscribe and join and hit that thumbs up button. Sorry. But we are also in the Ireland versus Scotland game right after this. But no, it should be interesting. I think England will win, though. I just think that France aren't ready in their preparations yet to take on England. I think that England will feel very confident with themselves until about late 2022. I think that they'll still be the better team in Europe next year. But I think that late 2022 is when they'll start to really realise that France are there. I think Scotland will improve. I think Scotland will definitely be a better nation. I think they'll be better than Wales in the next World Cup. I think that Scotland are definitely on the up as well. But they're still not going to be a competitor, but they'll definitely be better than they, I guess, were in the last World Cup, where they lost to Japan in a pretty crucial moment where really they shouldn't have been losing to Japan. But, Japan have improved, but still they shouldn't have been losing to Japan. I had Japan in my buddy, the BKR Sport, what's it called? One of those sweepstakes. We do a sweepstakes every time. And I was happy. I was happy that they won, but really, Scotland shouldn't have been losing that game. Just on the slide, just on the little down under there. But no, I'll take England tomorrow. But I think that late 2022, France will really give them a scare, and they'll start to, they'll start to question themselves about that 2023 World Cup in regards to Europe. Patrick Thomas says, think Australia usually lacks great fly halves. Look, Australia just lack direction right now. They just lack direction. They think they have the direction. They lack direction. But Rennie, you go have a look at all the games. Australia, besides that one walloping by New Zealand, they should have won the Tri-Nations. They lost the Tri-Nations themselves, lads. They lost the Tri-Nations themselves. That's going to be a knock on there against Georgia. Fiji, get that ball to the right-hand side. No point kicking it. Well, no point kicking it, mate. What are you doing? Are you a bloody goose or what? You loose goosey, mate? What are you doing? So, Georgia here going to be outside the 22. Oh, that's held up. Yeah, there's no way he's getting down here. There's no way he's getting down here. That's 100% going to be a penalty here, Fiji. That's 100% a penalty, Fiji here. Yeah. Penalty, Fiji. Easy days. Easy days. On the way, it says, shouldn't have an Aussie coach. This is a good game, pretty close. I wouldn't say it's close. I'd say Fiji are definitely the better team. I think Fiji definitely win this game by a decent amount. But, obviously, I think that Georgia have stuck in it enough to give themselves credit. But I think that Fiji have definitely still been the better team by a long way. They're up 26-10. There was a moment in the last 10 minutes of that first half where Georgia were looking pretty decent for potentially a sneaky win. But at this very moment right now, Fiji up 26-10, and they're probably about to score another try here, or really, you could look at a penalty, but Fiji aren't going to look for the penalty. Starleo says, well, I assume if the Jaguares die for good, the vast majority of their squad will be competitive in the overseas teams. Jaguares will never die. I just don't think I just don't know how they'll compete. They'll have to compete in a South American / North American style tier, but that is not the Super Rugby. You look at South America and North America, you tell me one good team. If you think you're going to tell me USA in 15th, this is a decent team, and they're going to have good competition in the rugby, buddy, you think again, mate. Hey, buddy, you think again, mate. You can't go from Super Rugby with your Brumbies, with your Waratahs, with your Crusaders, with your Chiefs, with your Lions over there in South Africa. Oh, great kick out of the left-hand side. Oh, sit up. Try time, baby. Boom, Fiji with the try. That's what I'm talking about. Fiji, baby. Viti, baby. That's a great kick out of the left wing. And that is a phenomenal try there for Fiji. That's a great kick out of the left-hand side there. 21 minutes to go here. Fiji starting to pull away a little bit. There. But very good try there. Namane Nandolo. I'm pretty certain that Namane Nandolo is the next Sevens player. I'm pretty certain. I could be wrong. I'm pretty certain Namane Nandolo played for the Fiji Sevens team, but that's a great kick, and that's a great dive, slide, try. Left-hand corner, and now Benny Volavola trying to get this kick in here. 21 points in front to make it 23. You've got to really commend this from the Fijians, considering that they have had no preparation. I'm telling you, if they have preparation, they win this game to 0. If they have preparation, no, they win this game to maybe. No, you know what? This is fair enough, really. This is fair enough, but I don't think they would have scored so early. Honestly, even if they had preparations, I actually think they could have actually won the 0. But Fiji are pretty debatable defensively. But today they've been okay. They've been okay defensively. They've gotten 3 penalties in their own 5 metre. Georgia have been attacking quite a lot, but they aren't giving up. So I actually think they could have won 0 if they had a preparation in this game. Flame says, would you say Russia will win the 2031 World Cup when they struggle to win a match? No, you've misheard me. You misheard me. So I was talking about... No, I would never have said that. You would have misunderstood what I said. Russia, gee whiz, they're just knocked out of the top 20. And Portugal just jumped them into the top 20. But even though Portugal aren't necessarily horrible. But I never would have actually said that in that sense. I think you've just misunderstood me. Or I've made it not clear what I've said. He misses the kick there, 31-10. No, 2031, I was talking about Russia getting the World Cup. I was saying Australia will get the World Cup in 2027, where it will come to Australia because it'll be Southern Hemisphere. Because right now it's a bid between Russia and Australia for that 2027 World Cup. So what I'm saying is 2023 is France, 2027 is Australia. It brings us to the Southern Hemisphere because France is Northern Hemisphere, Australia Southern Hemisphere, and then back to Russia, which would be Northern Hemisphere. You know what I mean? That's what I was trying to say. I would never have said Russia to win the World Cup in 2031, mate. Gee whiz. But I understand why you would have got me confused. Flame says, true, but the most tier 3 countries don't approve. It's lucky if they do. I'm the waiter says, do you think Samoa will be good in the Gaming Union? Whew, long way. Long way. What was that from? Well, that's accidental offside. That's accidental offside. That's got to be offside penalty. Are you joking? I was going to say, you kidding me? That's a penalty here, Fiji. That's one of the stupidest offsides I think I've ever seen. I guess it was more just kind of like putting your arms up, but how are you doing that? 2 likes away from 50, by the way, guys. Go and smack that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new around here. 2 likes away from 50. Smack it. But no, what was I going to say? Samoa, look, it'll be a while. I think they're focusing more on rugby league nowadays. I think that they really love their rugby league, and I think they've really put rugby union in the past. Gordon Tietjens did a decent job with Samoa, but in the 7s, but 15s wise, that's a terrible kick from Fiji. What the hell was that? That didn't even go out. Oh, well, don't worry, because Georgia gave him a great position kick anyway. Oh, the shit was that little play there? Fiji missed the sideline, and Georgia keep it in field. They keep it in field. I've actually never seen a worse kick in my life. So the ball stays in field. Georgia get the ball 5 meters out in their own line, and then kick it straight out, like literally less than a meter. What the hell did I just witness? Oh, try time Fiji. I can't believe. What was that? What was that? That is outrageous. That is outrageous. So the $99 was scored on the try there. That is absolutely ridiculous. I can't believe that. I actually can't believe that. So that's I can believe the try, but I can't believe the audacity of Georgia to get the kick, for Fiji to miss the kick, keep it in field, unfortunately, grab the kick, and then kick it 1 meter past where they are, so that basically the kick goes out anyway. Playoff pieces, I still believe in the comeback by Georgia. All right, mate. All right, mate. Georgia come back in this game. I'm going to get a Man United tattoo right my damn well forehead, just alongside the word dickhead. Right there. Big tattoo. If Georgia come back and win this game against Fiji from 36-10 down with 16 minutes to go, I'm getting a buddy big old tattoo here with Man United dickhead right on my forehead. Lewis Fans Football says, are you going to do Super Rugby? I'm going to be vlogging a lot of the Super Rugby. Obviously, most of my content is vlogging, guys, but I will be streaming games that I can't get to, yes. I will stream games that I can't get to, but I will be vlogging majority of the NRL, Super Rugby, and AFL, depending on what I can go to, obviously. But Fiji with an easy try there and an easy conversion, 38-10, 28 points the difference right now. And it looks like Fiji are going to score more points than England did. I can say that, I promise. Mate, they're 28 points down with 16 minutes to go. Georgia are not winning this game. They would still need to score 5 times. 5 converted tries. So 4 converted tries and a try, mate. Or 4 converted tries and a penalty. How about this? If Georgia don't come back, then you have to get the bloody Man United tattoo on your forehead with big dick. How about that? Take that one. All right, so you confident? You still confident, mate? All right, so 15 minutes to go here. I'm the way says I could kick better than most Union players. What? Union players are some of the best kickers in the world. They're much better than rugby league kickers. That was just a bad kick from a, tier 2 nation. Are they tier 2 or tier 3? I'd say tier 2. Tier 3. I'd say tier 3. Oh, great take there by Georgia. That's a horrid take, by the way. That's an absolutely horrific take to think that you're a better kicker than rugby union players. Union players are fantastic kickers. Much better than league. Some of the best kickers in the world. You look at their conversion ability, besides Reece Hodge, Besides Reece Hodge, they're a bunch of bloody loosey-gooseys. Sorry, Reece Hodge is the loosey-goosey. Besides Reece Hodge, they're all really damn well good. That's a terrible kick from Georgia. But, yeah, no. Lewis Transport says, Brumbies or Reds will win this year if any Aussie teams do. Well, it's only Australian teams. The Super Rugby will stick the same. Australia, until 2022, it's going to be the same tournament, but New Zealand will add in a final this time because it was boring this year. It was shit-ass this year how the Crusaders won without having to play the Blues. That was really disappointing. Oh, wow. That's a knock-on. Oh, that's a knock-on against Fiji. Oh, no, they didn't call it. Fiji with a short kick there. Oh, here we go. He's away. No, he's not. No, Australia will play the team tournament with Western Force, Brumbies, Reds, Waratahs, and Rebels. In 2022, they'll include themselves into that Super Rugby format alongside the Crusaders, Chiefs, Blues, Hurricanes, and Highlanders, and then also Minor Pacifica and the Fiji and Drua. Oh, he's going to knock that ball on. Unfortunately, that's a knock-on there. Oh, wow, not knock-on. They're not calling a knock-on there against Fiji. J.A. Meyer says, would Fiji beat Wales? Good question. At the moment, they're potential. They're definitely potential. I think so. Wales have been very bad. The Wales have been very, very poor. So I would say yes. But this is a team is winning 38-10 after a prolonged year and a half on the sideline. A year and a half on the sideline. So can you imagine what they'd be like right now if they weren't a year and a half on the sideline and they were able to play 3 games and I reckon they would beat Italy. Or they would beat Italy. I reckon they would have given France a solid crack. I honestly think they could have snuck France because France is still early days. And I think they definitely would have beat Scotland. So I think they would beat Wales. Georgia is T2. Okay, fair enough. Would they be low end? Very low end T2 though. I guess somebody says, how you feel about a potential new NRL team in Queensland that had been talked about for years? They'll bring in 2 teams. The next time they bring in a team, they'll bring in 2. It would make no sense to bring in 1. So Georgia here, but we'll talk about that in another video, not on a rugby stream at 1:30 in the morning. Fiji, Georgia. Oh, that's terrible defense there. That is shocking. Oh, I think that's a try. I think that's a try. Georgia will score a try there. Yeah, he's still moving there. That's a try. Try time. So it's going to be 38-15 here. Like I said, guys, the final 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, Fiji will get tired. Fiji will inevitably get tired. They've had no preparation to this game. So, it is what it is. So I wouldn't be surprised if Jordan scored another try here, to be honest with you. Player puts the comeback begins. Yeah, you better hope so, because otherwise you're getting a big Man United tattoo right here, mate. Someone who says this is a crossover Super Rugby competition between the New Zealand and Australia teams next year. There is a crossover? I swear they were just talking. I swear they said only 2022. I swear next year is just Australia and playing in their tournament, and then New Zealand playing in their tournament, in the Aotearoa tournament, and then having a final instead of just the regular competition that we saw this year. By the way, guys, 13 minutes to go until the end of the game here. Don't forget, we are streaming Scotland versus Ireland right after this. That should be a decent game. I think Irish should win, but as an Australian, I want Scotland to win. And they do have a shot, because Irish haven't been great. But I think the Scottish, if they do win, then apparently Australia jumps over the Irish. So, play pieces. Georgia are using the robo-dope technique, don't worry. Well, I hope you're starting to get a sketch, Aruna. Get a sketch going right now, because you're going to need a sketch, mate. You're going to need a sketch. All right, sort that out. Get that sorted out immediately. So that's going to be 38-17 here. 21-point game. 3 converged tries, the difference. Anyway, still wouldn't be surprised if Georgia scored another try here, but I think Fiji could still score another try as well. I think this game could finish 45-24. I reckon 45-24, and that's a high-scoring game, but it's what to be expected here. I honestly think with preparation, Fiji win this game like a 55 to, I don't know, I'd say 55-10. I'd say 55-10 on a good track with a bit of preparation involved. I wonder when the last time these guys actually got to train tackles. Maybe today or the day beforehand is probably when they got to train tackles. Naila Level comes on here. Naila Level. 11 minutes to go here. Lewis Fans Football says, Brumbies or us will win then? Yeah, I think Reds. I think the Reds win. I think the Reds win next year, to be honest with you. Reds are a very good team coming forward. They're a very young team. I think they're going to be the primo team in Australian rugby next year. But Brumbies will still be decent. Brumbies will still be up. It'll still be between the Brumbies and the Reds. Force can be a force if they wanted to, but they've still got a little bit to track first. So 11 minutes to go here, 38-17 here to Fiji. On the way, just imagine if Argentina go to South Africa. What do you mean? What do you mean if Argentina go to South Africa? In regards to what? So that's a terrible kick there from Georgia. Now, if by the way, I'm the away. If I think it was you that said it, I think you could kick better than the Georgians. But in regards to other players and other teams, I doubt it. I doubt it. But in regards to the Georgians, then yeah, I think you probably could kick better than them, mate. Because they have been absolutely terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Geez, Johnny Dye has put on some weight, but it's good to see. Good to see. He's a big bopper now. I remember when he was at the Fiji and Drew, he was a very skinny guy. He was very, lean. But now he's put some weight on there, the old Johnny Dye, which is good. Very good for his game, in my personal opinion, to have a bit of a bigger body going up against these Georgians and going up against these bigger teams, other than, Queensland country and your Sydney Rays and stuff like that. Oh, that's Buddy. Look at him go, the big fella. There you go. Just after the attack in 22 right now, Fiji. This comeback's looking very difficult right now, Mr. Playoff P. This comeback is looking very, very difficult now. Not too sure. I think it's probably paying about 450 million to 1, but, good luck to you. Argan Smokey says, has Sammy scored? I haven't seen the full stream, been here full stream. I don't know. He hasn't. No, Sammy hasn't scored. And back into the left-hand side. Oh, gee whiz. JM just says, opinion about Nandola being back. Well, Namada Nandola playing for the Sevens, right? I've been asking this question the entire stream, but no one answering me. That's a penalty here against Sammy Radradra, actually. Nandola was playing the Sevens, right? Nandola played the Sevens. But that was a while ago, wasn't it? I can't remember. So 71 minutes in here. Oh my God. It's a great kick from Georgia. They're going to be inside the attack of 40 here. I think that's a bit of a bullshit call there. I don't think that's a penalty there against Sammy Radradra. I don't think he did anything wrong there. Why is that a penalty against Sammy Radradra? What did he do? All he did was block. What did he do there? There was nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. That's ridiculous. Well, I don't understand what he did wrong. I don't even know what you could have done wrong. At least most of the time you know what someone could have done wrong. But he didn't. I don't even know what he could have done wrong there. All he did was go over the top and do, oh, that's forward. That's forward. It's a knock on anyway. I'll get the offload away. Yeah. Get the offload away. Seven Radradra got the ball here into the attacking half right now. So a penalty advantage here for Fiji as well. Jeez. That's some bad buddy rugby by the Georgians. Gone to the left-hand side here. Oh, gee whiz. Oh, that's a penalty. He's off his feet. 100%. Gee whiz. Georgia, man, they've got some They can sometimes be decent, but they can also be deplorable sometimes. And parts of this game have been really depressing. Parts of this game have been really baffling to the mind. It's like, why would you think that was okay to do? You literally dived over the top. You're off your feet and you grab the ball and you throw it back. Like, you drunk, mate? Are you drunk? Have you had too much vodka today? Like, what are you doing, mate? So they're going to be on the attack in 22 here. On the Oasis, do you think Sivo would dominate Union? Dominate? No. I think Sivo would be decent at Union, but in the same sense, dominate. I think Radradra is better than Sivo. I've always said that Radradra is the better Fijian winger out of the two. I think that Sivo, albeit being good, I don't know if he would have the same impact in rugby at all. Domination-wise, no way. His body, for me, isn't the style that I'd be preferring to see in rugby. What are you doing, Georgia? They offload the ball forward. That's an offload of the ball forward, but no, they're not going to call it. They're going to kick this one down. Player pieces. Didn't Tonga score like 3 tries in the last 6 minutes in 2016? Tonga? Who the hell did they play? Buddy, Uzbekistan? Tonga? Scoring 3 tries in the last 6 minutes in 2016? Who are they playing? Buddy Nui? Who were Tonga playing to score 3 tries in the last 6 minutes to win the game? Tonga versus England? Tonga versus England? You think Tonga beat England in rugby union in 2016? Tonga? If that's true, that's madness. I can't even remember that. Tonga? You sure? You sure? Are you thinking about rugby league? Fafita knock on. Oh my god, he's talking buddy rugby league. Shit, man, Tonga. Tonga in Union, mate. They're like buddy. Good luck scoring. If they scored 3 tries in the final 6 minutes of a game to win the game, you know they're playing buddy. The North Korea, because North Korea don't play. Tonga aren't that great. They're up above what they're like a tier 3 nation, but like they're a higher type of tier 3 nation. But when you're a tier 3 nation, you're not great. So going after the right hand side here, see Georgia aren't great, and they're a tier 2 nation. So that's telling you everything you need to know. So Georgia here. Oh, that's a big hit from Fiji. 70 round with a big hit there. Frankie Lamani goes off there for Kuravolley. Lewis Fans Football says they got smashed by New Zealand. Yeah, I think Tonga played New Zealand last year, or was it England? No, I think England played. I think England played Tonga last year and won by like 70, wasn't it? Or was it New Zealand? It wasn't New Zealand. In the World Cup last year, I think New Zealand or England beat Tonga by like 7. I think it was England who beat Tonga by like 70 points or something ridiculous. So knock on here from Fiji, but then to Georgia. So it will be Georgian ball here from a scrum. Please confirm that for me. I don't want to be talking shit if I'm wrong. But unlike the commentators and stuff, I don't have all the statistics right in front of me. This is all just based on my, viewing and remembrance. But Georgia here, 4.5 minutes to go. They're going to need 3 converted tries here just to tie the game playoff P in the next 4.5 minutes. So good luck. It was England. There you go. Lewis Fans, what was this World Cup warm-up match? Yeah, no. This was a World Cup match. Is what I'm talking about. England beat Tonga by like 70 points last year's World Cup. 92-7. That's the one. 92-7. No, 92-7, that's the pre... No. I'm thinking about the actual World Cup match, the group stage between Tonga and England. I'm pretty certain it was like 70, 80 points. I don't think it was 92-7. That was the New Zealand game, but England beat them by like 70 or 80 in the group stage. Wasn't it? No, New Zealand... I don't think Tonga was in the group stage with New Zealand and South Africa, were they? Was Tonga in the same group? No, I think it was England. You just said it was a pre-warm-up match. Well, the one I'm talking about was in the World Cup. You can go and check it out if you'd like. I'm pretty certain Tonga played England. So 3 minutes to go here. Georgia, pretty terrible scrum. Sloppy scrum. But they're going to get a penalty from it. They're going to take a quick tap here. Like I said, guys, Fiji will get tired. I wasn't surprised they get another try here, the Georgians. Really, it's an unrealistic result. They will lose, but it will still be an unrealistic scoreline, considering this is not what Georgia would normally do against Fiji. And, that's going to be a try here at the right-hand side. Should be a try. Oh, great tackling by Fiji. Either one, who cares? 927 scary. Yeah, no, but the fact is, what you're not understanding here is New Zealand played them 1-9-2-7, and then they went and played England and lost by 80. So they've lost 2 games in a row by like 150 points total. You know what I mean? Like in total, like 160 points in total. It's ridiculous in 2 games. One before the World Cup and one at the World Cup. So 3 minutes to go here. Georgia with the ball just outside the 5-metre line right now. In this game specifically, they probably deserve another try. In general, this is not a realistic scoreline. I think it's an advantage here. For Georgia. Penalty advantage. They're about 2 meters short here of the line. Don't forget, guys, we are streaming Ireland versus Scotland right after this. That'll be to see who comes third place. That'll be the third place final. All right, 2 minutes to go here. Player piece, what tier is the Namibia team? I'd say they'd be tier 3. Surely. They're like 25th ranking. No, they're 18th or 19th, actually. They'd be tier 3. Georgia here, 1 metre short here. Georgia trying to push over through the forwards. Pretty average there. Oh, that's a try. So it's going to be 38-22 here with 1.5 minutes to go. Like I said, they would score another try, and they did. Unrealistic scoreline, but at least it's nice for Georgia to get back on the scoring board and show that they can score, because this tournament has not been kind to them in regards to scoring. I guess there's no disrespect to Tonga, but geez, I'm actually going to Google it right now. Tonga Rugby Union recent results. So 38-22, so 16-point win there. I'll get the comments up over here so I can still see it even though I'm on here. A minute to go here, the game. No, where's the scores? I don't understand why it's not giving me the scores there. Okay, don't worry. It's not going to actually give me what I actually asked for here. So I have to go somewhere else. Tonga results. Okay, here we go. 30 seconds left here. Would love to see Fiji score one more try here. Make it above 40. I did say 45-24. I can't find it. It's too late. Singh says Radradra's first test as captain. Yeah. But you've also got to remember that this is a game they've had no preparation for. Like, you just got to do it. You just got to remember it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a must. You have to remember it. Like, yes, it is, but it is also not. Oh, intercept. Oh, man. Oh, you're so unlucky. You're so unlucky. Oh, geez, it was an intercept try, but it'll be a penalty here to Georgia because I think they had a penalty advantage. Lewis fans, Spider Pieces lost 142-0 to Australia. They needed a tier for themselves. Who did? Oh, Namibia. Oh, yeah, true. That was a good intercept too. That's unlucky. The money on dollar has already got 3 tries in this game, by the way. Somebody says Fiji better not fall asleep now. What do you mean? It's game over. Either way, you know, they continue to try. It's like 38-31, but this isn't what the score line would be in a normal game. I'm in the Oasis in Namibia and Africa. I think so. Yeah. Arkansas Mogi says any team that loses in the triple digits don't walk the field again. 1995 World Cup, South Africa. Didn't New Zealand beat someone by 142 points, 130 points, something like that? I think it was 120 points or 130 points, something like that. Something ridiculous. Oh, what a hit there from Fiji. They want another try here. And it's going to be Georgia's ball here. 1995, I'm pretty certain that New Zealand in the World Cup beat some team by like 130 points. I think it was American. No, I'm not sure. Going to the right-hand side here. Oh, jeez. Georgia here. Nearly knock it on. That is a knock-on. That should have been a knock-on. No, they're not going to call it. Oh, that's a forward pass. No, not going to call it. Don't worry about that. I can say that's crazy. I can't remember. I watched Invictus the other day. It's a knock-on there from Georgia. That could be the game. That is going to be the game there. That's going to be the game. All right, guys. Well, I've got about 25 minutes to kind of freshen myself up before we do the next game, the Ireland versus Scotland game. Don't forget, guys, if you haven't hit that thumbs up button yet, go and smack that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new around here. Every Monday we do the World Rugby review. We will go over this game. But I'll be back in about 25 minutes for the next game, which is Ireland versus Scotland. So I'm looking forward to that because that should be a pretty good game to see who comes third in the Autumn Nations Cup. But yeah, very good. Well, not very good performance, but a very good attacking performance here from Fiji. Very good game, considering both these teams. One, Georgia's not that great. It gave them a bit of a hit out in regards to scoring-wise against a team that hasn't had any preparation. And Fiji obviously had a game where they could show off their attacking flair going into, I guess, next year, I guess. But it's a good win for Fiji, I guess, basically, considering their time off the field. But like I said, guys, I'm going to jump off for now, and I will see you guys in literally 25 minutes for the Ireland and Scotland game. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you later.